You know, it's about time I do another book tag. It's been a while. Today, we're doing the Cosmere Book Tag. Stay tuned, that's coming right up here on Drew's Book Reviews. Let's talk Cosmere. Let's talk the Cosmere Book Tag. I was tagged by Jesse the Sleepy Koala. I will go ahead and link the description the original video. Thank you so much for the tag. I do appreciate it. And of course, definitely be sure to check out the other links below. Discord, Patreon, Bookstagram, all that good stuff linked down below. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments down below. So, let's talk about the Cosmere Book Tag. Each one of these prompts is basically derived from a different world within the Cosmere. If you don't know what the Cosmere is, you should definitely check it out. It is Brandon Sanderson's epic universe where each one of his series within the Cosmere takes place on a different planet within the Cosmere, and all of them have the lore and history and mythology all linked back to a single beginning, which is really, really awesome. And I absolutely love that about the Cosmere. So this is just a really cool book tag. So let's get into it. What is this book tag? What are the prompts? Prompt number 1 is Roshar. Name a book or book series with fantastical world building. With that, I had to go with Malazan, Book of the Fallen. This epic book series, which you can see on the shelf back here, is huge. It has got a lot to it, different continents, different characters, massive timelines, an incredibly crazy magic system, and just it is epic in every way, shape, and form. With Malazan, Book of the Fallen just has some fantastic world building elements within it, and it is huge and massive in scope. It's one of the reasons why this is so beloved by the fan base, which I'm starting to be a fan of this series, and I'm going to have to reread it at some point. I'm not quite finished reading it the first time, but I'll definitely be rereading at some point Malazan, Book of the Fallen. Of that, I have no doubt whatsoever. Prompt number 2, Scadrial. This is the planet in which we have the Mistborn series. And the prompt is, name a book or book series that combines magic with technology. For that, I had to go with Discworld. Discworld has the magic in it, and it's also got the technology in it. And every book, it's just, first of all, it's an absolutely hilarious series. If you haven't read Discworld, you really need to read Discworld. But definitely we have technologies, the film industry, news media, print industry, photography, and all kinds of technology is definitely within this book series, but it also combines that with magical elements, and it's just a fun read all around. Discworld from start to finish is hilarious, and definitely I would say it fits the qualifications for combining magic with technology. Prompt number 3, Nelthis. Name a book or book series with a colorful cover. For that, I had to go with Wheel of Time. Every one of at least my Wheel of Time books has a lot of colors in it. I mean, we got the blue, we got the white, we got black, we got purple, we got, gold on the cover, red. Just, it's colorful all around. Every one of the books in the Wheel of Time definitely has what I would consider a colorful cover that stands out. So that definitely counts for that prompt for sure. The Wheel of Time, any Wheel of Time book, The World of Course being the first in the Wheel of Time series. Prompt number 4, Cell. Name a debut novel. With that, I went with Evan Winter's Rage of Dragons. I haven't actually read this book yet. It is on my to-be-read pile. I will be getting to it, but Evan Winter's Rage of Dragons. So that is the debut novel, which I've heard a lot of good things about it, so it'll be fun once I get to it for sure. Yeah, Rage of Dragons, I think, fits that criteria for name a debut novel. Threnody. Name a spooky book. So I believe this is the place where Shadows for Silence in the Forest of Hell takes place, which is a short story within the greater Cosmere. But in terms of naming a book with a it is a spooky book, for that, I had to go with my H.P. Lovecraft Tales of Horror. I mean, how much more perfect is a spooky book than this? I mean, I can't think of a better book that fits the prompt than H.P. Lovecraft's Tales of Horror. I am, by the way, loving this special edition that I have of these Tales of Horror. It is just absolutely beautiful edition, by the way. Absolutely love it. This was sent to me by a viewer, so just awesome. But yeah, definitely H.P. Lovecraft Tales of Horror. If that doesn't fit spooky, I don't know what does. Prompt number 6, Yolan. Name a book that shattered you. For me, I had to go with The Way of Kings. with Kaladin's Stormblessed story within this book, and you knew I had to get at least one Cosmere book in this Cosmere book prompt, so here you go. Anyway, Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. The storyline, Kaladin's story, and what happened to him and his struggle with depression was just, it hit home so hard for me, and I love his character, and Kaladin has probably become one of my favorite all-time characters ever because of how relatable his character was for me within this book series, and his story just, it got me right here. Like, it is the only story that I can think of where I've actually been brought to tears at Kaladin's plight, because I could relate so hardcore to what he was feeling, especially in those deepest, darkest moments. And I'm not going to get into details there as to spoil it, but this Way of Kings, that is definitely going to fit that prompt for a book that broke you or shattered you. Just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. Absolutely love the Stormlight Archive now because of that. Is definitely a key reason for sure. Prompt number 7, Vax. Name a book that is not well known. Well, for that, I actually went with Tyler Rudd Hall's Eviscerate, Catalyst, and Beacon. This is the Ronos trilogy. I'm not even sure if these are still available on Amazon, but Tyler Rudd Hall is actually somebody that I actually know. He gave me copies of his books, and I have to say I really enjoyed this sci-fi book series that he created. It's definitely a fun and interesting read. It's been a long time since I've actually read these books, but I do remember I did enjoy them quite a bit. And definitely, look, if anybody watching this video has actually heard of these books, please let me know, because as far as I know, they're not well known at all. As far as I know, I'm the only one that even knows of their existence, you know, aside from Tyler Rudd Hall himself, of course. But I mean, if you read these ones, if you know of these books, I would love to know. But yeah, definitely I think this would fit the prompts of, you know, name a book that isn't well known, and definitely the Ronos trilogy by Tyler Rudd Hall is definitely going to fit that category, for sure. Prompt number 8, Tell Dane. Name a book with 2 halves, 2 points of views, etc. 2 parts in some fashion. Of course, it'd be pretty easy to go White Sand on this, since that's what the Taldane prompt is based off of, but we're not going to cheat. What we are going to do, however, is we're going to say The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments. This is effectively a duology, with the first one being The Handmaid's Tale, of course, the second one being The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. So, of course, this is also a TV series now. You've probably heard The Handmaid's Tale TV series. You probably knew of The Handmaid's Tale before it even became a TV series. But definitely, with the 2 halves here, this duology, The Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments, I thought this was a good fit for that particular prompt with 2 halves. So there you go. 2 halves, Handmaid's Tale and The Testaments. I figured that works for that one. Alright, prompt number 9, First of the Sun. Name a book with animals in it. For that, I actually went with his Dark Materials trilogy. We all know the demons within his Dark Materials world are actually animal companions that are demons as well, essentially. So I definitely went with his Dark Materials, where everybody has their own demon or animal companion in some form. And that is why this one is a book with animals in it. I figured that was a good fit for that prompt. His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman, with their animal companion demons. Braze. Name a book about war. For that, I had to go with, generally speaking, the Ender's Game universe, but I opted for Formic War's Burning Earth. So this is a graphic novel based off of the Ender's Game series, a prequel to Ender's Game, and the initial war that went on prior to the events happening in Battle School, which Battle School itself doesn't so much take place in a war setting, as more of a training for war setting as opposed to an actual war setting itself. But I went with Formic War's Burning Earth for this one, which this is one of the first graphic novels I read. I actually really like the art in this graphic novel, and I just enjoyed it in general. There they are, fighting the Formics. Anyway, Formic War's Burning Earth, I went as a book about war. This is the only graphic novel in the Ender's Game universe that I've read, and I don't think I'm actually going to read any more graphic novels in that universe specifically. That's a whole nother video. But I went with Formic War's Burning Earth as a book about war. And prompt number 11, Ashen. Name a book about broken people that could be politically, socially, mentally, spiritually, just broken people in general. For that, I went with Red Rising. This is about a subclass of human slave workers, essentially, underneath the surface of Mars, who have been indoctrinated into this belief that they are there terraforming the planet and they must work for the betterment of mankind. And for generations, they've been indoctrinated into believing this under completely false pretenses. And they are an oppressed people that are effectively a slave class that must rise up to fight the Golds, which is the top class in society of the world in which this book series takes place. So I went with Red Rising as far as a tale about broken people. And that is what I went with on this one. I just figured that one fits this prompt so effectively well. And yeah, there you have it. There are the questions for this. And of course, the last question of all is tag some friends. Who do you want to see do this tag? So for this, I'm going to tag my good buddy, Epic Tales. I'd love to see your take on this. I'm also going to go ahead and tag Bookish Chaz. I'm also going to go ahead and tag Nico from Nico's Book Reviews. And I think, what the heck, Leslie from the Nerdy Narrative. I know you've read some Brandon Sanderson and Cosmere, so I would love to see your take on these prompts, and I look forward to seeing your videos on it if you're get around to doing it. Of course, you don't have to, no pressure, but I'd love to see your take on that. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you to the Sleepy Koala for the tag in the first place. Really appreciate that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of these prompts down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links below. I'll link all channels mentioned in this video down below as well. And as always, until next time, keep on reading. Bye!